Okay, that's a nice little cardboard or plastic in. I'll just put enter. I don't believe in that. Okay. Okay. 4 steps up, we turn. Okay, the inanimate object, your wrist is bent. Job. Make sure the puppets are T. Okay, biting. Or we'll do like if we have to do the back of their heads. Well, actually.
Who are you? And what are you doing here at Millennium Middle School?
Well, my name is Edna Bland, and I am one of the theater arts teachers here at Millennium Middle School, which is a performing arts magnet. And what am I doing here? Wow. Well, I'm teaching theater arts, as in theater classes, as well as puppetry arts. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, puppetry arts isn't necessarily one of the most common courses available in middle schools. How did you get here and involved teaching it to preteens?
Sure. Well, it started off about, let's see, I've been here for 8 years, so it started off about 6 or 7 years ago where I wanted an after-school club for puppetry, because that is my theater background. And then they started turning into a performance team. And so we were performing for our school assemblies as well as some places in the community. And then finally I went to my principal and said, can I actually have an elective class? Can we turn it into an elective class? So she said, okay. So the first year, which was 3 years ago, the first year we had, for both semesters, there were semester classes, or they still are semester classes, and it was about 12 kids in each class. It grew like you wouldn't believe, and last year we had a total of 85 kids for the year. This year we have a total of 150 and kids on a waiting list. So it's pretty popular class.
Were you surprised at the popularity so quickly that kids at this age were like ready to do it and chomping at the bit?
Well, middle school still has that childlike, behavior and nature to them. And we even have students walking around still with stuffed animals if they're not in their backpack. Some of them are literally walking around with them at 6th and 7th grade. They're too cool in 8th grade, by then. So I knew it was something that they would like. Plus, I was working with middle schoolers in my church where I started a puppet team there for many years. So I knew it would transfer over perfectly fine. Absolutely. Just other kids just like it as it's a fun thing to do. It's an activity. It's great for social skills. I'm a huge Howard Gardner fan that talks about multiple intelligences, that touches intra and interpersonal skills. And so by them working in groups to create a show, that group dynamic is something that they absolutely need, especially in the world we have today with technology all the time. That it's really great that they can actually talk and interact with each other. And of course, just be creative and have fun. They have the regular academic classes that they have to go to, so it's nice that they can come in here and have a little bit of a breather in order to, just enjoy life. They're kids. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah. Is there a quality or a type of student that you find makes a good puppeteer, like some qualities of a kid, maybe like creativity or a vivid imagination, something like that can make you a better puppeteer than the average kid?
It's like in theater in general. When you have, I noticed over the years that the more introverted kids are the better performers in general. For the main reason, they listen. They take that step to analyze things and to listen, and they're more detailed. And of course, I love the extroverts, and they're all over the place, and it's great. But sometimes they're a little bit too excited, and you got let's bring it down a little. Well, I have to bring up bring out the art of and the interest of the introverted kid. But they're the ones, because of the detail in their analytical minds, they will pay attention to detail. They do have better control. And to be a puppeteer, control is huge. huge, huge. And those details are huge. To understand that you have to emulate this inanimate object, you have to make it animate through your control and your movements. And the more you can do that, the better puppeteer that you are.
So how does it feel when you see your kids performing? Like the kids that came into your class not knowing anything really about puppets, and then they're out there showing off their skills.
Well, my love as a teacher in general, and why I became an educator, was for the simple fact when I see the aha moment, that they get it. I love being a black unicorn.
Yeah. So what is a black unicorn in your life, and what does it mean if you've never heard that term before?
Exactly. A black unicorn is just a little phrase and name that I made up with some other African American female puppeteers. Puppeteers of color are very rare in the country in general. We're in certain pockets, we're there, but we're not as widespread as everyone else. And so African Americans are a smaller group of people, margin of people, and within that, the females are even smaller on a professional level. You have puppeteers who will perform in churches or in the community, but as far as it being a lifelong career, it's extremely rare.
Nickname that you mentioned earlier, Drama Mama. Mama of drama?
Drama Mama.
Drama Mama. Where did that come from? And
it came from the kids originally, and you know, as in theater, art imitates life and vice versa. And I know that being a teacher is a calling, and it's a lot more than teaching theater basics. And theater is part of life, and they have to understand human qualities, human life, human issues and situations. So there's times where I'm talking to them, I'm teaching them stage directions, body positions, but I'm also teaching them about just human behavior in general. So, and then also by being middle schoolers, they're at that age where there's so much confusion in their life. This is an urban type school. There are situations where we have students whose parents have passed away or incarcerated. And so there are just times where you need to just give them some TLC and just say, you know, it's going to be all right. Why don't you just come here and sit with me? And if you want to talk to me, okay. If not, you just want to sit here, that's okay. Sometimes I have to correct them. Sometimes I have to teach them manners. So I'm basically their mom, in a sense, at school. And like I said, when there are certain students that love the art form and that want to continue it, I'm right there with them. Even though they leave this building, I will absolutely go support them in their high school life, maybe even college or on. I always tease every year, and I say, well, it's not really a tease, but every year I say, okay, one of you guys are going to make it. I don't know who it is, but when you're going to make it, one of you are going to make it. And when you do, I want 3 things. I want to be thanked at the award ceremony. I want to be on eHollywood Story saying how you were the unique theater student. And I want 10% of the first $1 million because somebody's going to retire me. And I figure if I say that long enough, that somebody's going to do it.